Yeah.
No,
Broadcast is
no,
live.
the broadcast is live. You turn your volume up. Volume
Is
up.
that good? You want more?
Sounds good. As long as they can hear us, as long as everybody can hear us, we're good. This is the Goose Troop. All right, we're live again. We're back again for another edition of the Goose Troop. Along with me, as always, is Cindy.
Hi, everybody.
Cindy, you want to say hello?
Hello. Hello.
Cindy, once again, you want to say hello? All right, we're just being silly. All right, today's show, we're going to talk about a little bit about what we were doing today, right? We'll first start off about what we were doing today. Hello, Diane. If you're,
Hi, Diane.
hi, Diane. Today we were working on getting some local establishments, right,
Yes.
together for us so we can visit them and promote them as well.
Yeah.
We spoke.
Yeah.
I spoke to a couple today. Had a really good response, as I told
Yeah.
you. Had a really good response from all of them. They all seemed to like the idea that we were pitching to them. Had some good responses, but ran into a few places where they didn't want. Well, the manager wasn't there,
The
right?
manager
The
wasn't there,
manager, the owner wasn't
or
there.
they weren't open.
Well, they weren't open. That's right. I was waiting. Remember, I was going to wait for another 35 minutes for one of them, and you're like, no, let's just. All right. So, but we do have a couple booked. I didn't tell you. We got two of them booked that we're going to do. Um, you okay?
Yes.
We got everything under control.
I was going to share it.
Oh, we'll be
So,
sharing.
the show.
Oh, oh. I was going to say, let's not share the information before we had it confirmed. But we
Oh,
do have
no.
two places lined up that we're going to go to. That we're going to go to be on location, right? We're going to be on location there, taking our show. We're going to take it in a different direction a little bit, right? We talked about taking it in a different direction. We're still going to be topics based, though, right?
Yes.
We're still going
And
to be
if appropriate, maybe you guys can come out there while we're live.
wow,
Sit in the
yeah.
audience, who knows?
Of course, we'd love to have you out there.
It's a learning experience for us, and hopefully all the equipment works and we come on.
Oh, yeah, well,
We promised free margaritas at one place, that would be nice.
yeah. Would it be nice?
It would be
And
nice,
would we be
but
drunk by noon?
yes, yes,
Well, maybe one of us will be. I will be, probably, more than likely.
yes.
But like today, like I said, we were going to plan for this. We're going to do really a local business, not a really critique, right? We're not critiquing them as such, right? We wouldn't
No,
be critiquing them, but more like what the experience is, uh, how they view it. We'll be talking to managers, right? We'll be talking to some of the
yeah,
employees there, and just what they think of it, how they got started, what maybe some good, some positive stories they've gotten, or and even some complaints. Obviously, we're not gonna hide the complaints, right? Everyone gets a complaint.
hmm and maybe they'll should uh have suggestions for you to try different menu items that other people wouldn't normally get, or a different cocktail or something. Yeah,
What does Christina say in the chat room?
if there's a margarita on there,
Yeah.
and I'm next to you, and we
Mm.
know Goose drinks them all the time.
I love them. I cannot get enough of them.
Yes,
Well, maybe two might be enough for me. Two pretty much is my limit.
yes,
Especially when they serve them in those big glasses,
yes,
those really
yes.
big ones. It's like
I
okay,
had a fair size one Saturday night. I was at La Fiesta. Yeah, yeah,
which one? Which La Fiesta?
from Stevenson.
Yeah, that's the owner I know. Remember, I was telling you that the
Yes.
guy catered my wedding, and I just love him and his brother, man. I love him and his brother. I should have went out there and talked to him. That'd been a good one, right?
Yeah. He
What
says any excuse to get drunk. Drunkards. No.
No, that's
Eh,
not necessarily what we're
no, no,
doing.
no. It's not a
That's
show meeting. It's
yeah,
yes, it's the show. It's the difference.
it's the actual show. We're not having a meeting. We're not and you know what? When we
Uh,
go to these meetings,
yes, yes.
are they really meetings?
Yeah. That one day it was. Yeah, we showed stuff about. We were looking at old shows.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We were.
We actually were.
We actually were talking about business and business. But yeah, we want to get out and do some restaurants. And we have, like I said, we have a couple of them booked already. We
Yeah,
have a couple of them booked already and said yes. And every place I went, except for one, there was one place that said, well, the manager wasn't here and come back later.
yes,
That was the only one I went to that didn't really give me a good response. Everyone else was saying, yeah, I like this idea.
yeah,
And yeah, I don't see why we can't do something with you.
yeah.
And two
If,
of the people wanted to partner up with me with
uh,
my idea.
if
Did I say that?
make sure you say idea, because Christina's suggesting other things
What did she say?
that the men hit on you.
Oh, Christina, please, please.
Oh God.
Why can't I get hit on by females? Why is it always got to be a dude? Always got to be a dude. Actually, today, you know, here's a funny story. I was talking to someone in this establishment, right? What I was telling you about. All right, here's a funny story for you. I was talking to this establishment, right? Well, actually, one of their employees, right? He was an employee there, right? And there was another patron in the establishment who I knew, right? I know this guy. He's one of the guys that invited me out to his family and always has the fireworks that I was telling you about, right? He's a brother of the guy that does it
Mm,
and invites me out, fireworks every 4th of July,
yeah.
and they do it at their house there. Anyways, he was there, and they were saying, "How you doing, Goose? Haven't seen you in a long time, whatever." And then the employee there, it's so funny. It's so funny, man. And I mean, they're pretty flamboyant. I gotta say, they're really flamboyant. He was showing me pictures. He was showing me pictures of him in like high heel boots,
Oh
because
my
he was in
God.
like some type of drag show, like a musical drag show
Yeah.
thing. That he was because he used to love to perform, and
This
as
is
you
a
can
friend of
imagine.
yours.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by friend? I
Trying
don't
to
know what you
figure
mean
out
by
why
that.
he wanted to show you those pictures.
Well, because they haven't seen me in a long time. It's been a while since I've been in there, and they haven't seen
Yes,
me.
yes.
And so they were just trying to catch me up with what he was doing and what he
What
was
kind of
doing.
outfits were you showing him?
It was I wasn't showing him anything, man. But as a matter of fact, when I went in there, Christina, just to play off what you were saying, Christina, he goes, Gus, are you gonna be doing this podcast at nude? I go, look, I don't think anybody wants to see me nude, dude,
Oh,
doing a podcast. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
mm,
And he
how
goes,
much would you have to drink? I don't know. I thought it might be a lot.
I would have to be tanked.
I'm talking about
I
me or
mean,
someone else. I mean, in order to want to see.
yeah, and then like I was showing him. Oh, that's funny. That's
Uh,
funny. No, but I was telling him like the podcast idea that I have, and he loved it. He and the customer there that I knew,
mhm,
they loved the idea. They're like, "Geez, I don't see why you wouldn't." He goes, "The only problem that I foresee is that if maybe because he goes, they don't know you like we know you. We know your personality. We know the type of person you are.
yeah.
So he goes, what you're gonna do? He goes, we know you're not gonna come in there slander us. You know, you're not gonna just rip on the place.
Sure,
You're not gonna say
sure.
bad comments about the
You
place."
would never do
No, that's nothing I would do. That's nothing I would do. But like I said, I'm only willing to promote them. Like, my idea was to promote
that. Hmm.
local establishments.
Yes.
And maybe you and I take our show and do that and maybe interview some of those people. Like
Yeah.
right now, we've got two different places that are willing to book us and bring us in, and they'd
Yes.
love to work with us. They'd love to work with us in some capacity. Oh my goodness! When you get caught up in the chat room, maybe I shouldn't have told the managers that maybe. So I was telling them I'm like, yeah, you can see off to the right. As you watch us, you can see off to the right the chat room
Yes.
and how they interact with you.
We just have to let them know it could get adult.
Oh
You're
goodness!
trying not to, but you can't put a leash on what happens.
What do I always say? What do I always say with this? Not that type
No,
of
not that type
show.
of show. But
Not that type of
yes,
show. That's
yes.
not what I do. No, but really, I was just telling everybody all the places I went to, except for one that really kind of was like, okay, but the manager's not here. come back later. I'm like, okay. Well, and then one of them's like, yeah, why don't you just leave a note for him, and then he'll get back and he'll, contact you. So I was like, that's great. Oh no, what is she saying?
It's just
I don't really want to know.
no.
I don't know that I want to know, but you can't help yourself from reading it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like you can't help yourself.
yes.
So I'm guessing, so I'm hoping that everybody in the chat room is on their best
It
behavior.
won't be.
They will not be,
Can't
will
be.
they?
No.
Especially if Brent or DA is in there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Irene.
Hi, Irene. How are you, dear? And so with that being said, we have two of them that are booked right now and that would love to work with us. And every other place that I went to had said, Goose, this is a really good idea. I could foresee us doing something together. And I also was telling them about the trivia show that we do as
Hmm.
well. They like that. I said it's just a fun
Yeah.
little show. I go, it's more about the interaction in the chat room, whereas my show,
Hmm.
the show that I'm talking about, Goose Troop, is really just topic based, and we talk about topics and fun topics. And I said, well, what we want to do with you guys is have a partnership with you where we come, every so often and promote your business. And
If we could figure a way to do the trivia live and then maybe interact with the people there too.
oh, that's a good idea. But I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, some people that go to restaurants, and this is one of the things that I was talking about with some of the people I was working, the managers or the employees there that I was working with, or that I was talking with throughout the day. And I said, I go, what I find the most when I visit someone's home, or when I was doing, because I told them I also do mold remediation, with my brother, and and then they asked me what that entails, and I told them, and so basically I was just telling them, I go, here's what I see a lot of when I go into people's homes. I go, I never see a family. I go, when I was younger, right? Every a majority of the time, I would say majority of the time, we all got together, whether it be in the living room to watch a TV show or in the dining room to sit. But we all got together as a family. I go,
Yeah.
that is what's missing. I go, in your industry, in the restaurant industry, I go, I see families come together, but what I see more often than not, I go, this is what I find. People do this and not talk to one another. They're
Mhm.
on their phones or on their tablets. I go, they're not really communicating with people anymore, their families or with anybody. I go, I see it a lot when people are on dates, or even if they're married, I go, that's no way to spend. I go, for me, and that's what he was saying too. He was saying,
When you're on their date, she's on her phone. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
I'm saying, look, when you're out and about,
Oh,
like people watching you, or people watch sometimes, or just observe what
yeah.
people do. And so that's the kind of thing I was talking about. It's like that's what I've observed. Is like most of the time I'll see like a married couple, right,
Yeah.
with their kid, or maybe they're on a date. You can tell they're on a date, a first time date. They're on their phones. They're not really communicating with each other at all. They're not
Yeah.
looking into each other's eyes, not having a conversation back and forth at all. They're just on their phones.
Yeah.
At that point, I ask you, is that a date? And is it a date that you would enjoy?
Does someone call and interrupt your date?
No, I'm not saying these are dates that I'm on.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying these are dates when you watch
I didn't know
people.
if she was looking at her phone the whole time and not paying attention to you, or if you get this call all of a sudden says, "Hey, I need to leave." All of a sudden,
I gotta wash my hair.
yeah, my
Yeah.
my kid needs me at home, or I got an emergency at work. So it was nice. Dinner was good. I gotta go.
Why can't it ever just be? Why can't it ever just be a positive thing? Why does it always have to?
Oh, Irene, she wants to know about my little ghost vectors. Push over a little bit.
Yeah.
That's me and the granddaughters did those.
Now guess which one Cindy painted. If you can guess which one Cindy painted.
Yeah, take a guess.
Now to them, they're looking at it reverse, right? So the one on the left
Yeah,
would be the reverse to us. Okay. Oh, am I on the way again?
yes. Nobody's guessed yet.
No one's guessed yet.
Mm-mm.
All right.
All right. Anyway,
Anyways, were you gonna tell them which one you painted? Are you gonna tell them which
the
one you
one
painted?
the one with the blonde hair is the one I painted.
Cindy did the one with the blonde hair. All right. I see. Now, my guess was the one in the middle, right? I thought that you did the one in the middle.
Yes, and that was the 4-year-old did the one in the middle, and the one with the blue face is my 8-year-old did it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
See, I think that looks pretty good, to be honest
I
with you.
I do too. They're all good. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too. I think they look nice.
yeah. They really do well.
What'd you do with the? Didn't you have pumpkins up there? All that?
Rabbits.
Rabbits. Sorry. What
Yes,
what happened to those? What do you do with them actually?
I have them in the other room. What I want to
Hmm.
do is get a wall and find a way to attach things to them. But these kind here, they have a little hole in them. So I could get like
Like a little string, and
or make a tree out of it. You know what I mean? Get
yeah.
like and have just put strings on it and hang it all the way across. So yeah, I don't want to just get rid of them. I'm going to try to
No,
make
I would.
make like a
Yeah.
you could make like a family or a village type thing, and add it around, like the latest ones we did had a lot of ocean type stuff along. We had turtles and whales and starfish and that. So you could, get one area where you got water and put them over in that area, and then another
Yeah.
area with the sparkly rabbit. I don't know how that's gonna fit in.
Maybe
But this
grass.
and
Maybe
this
some green
and
grass.
this and the other the whale is this big and the
The rabbit would be eating the whale.
yeah yeah it'd be attacking the bunnies.
The killer,
Killer rabbit.
the
Yeah,
gigantic
yeah,
bunny. No, I think that's a clever idea.
yeah,
I think that's a clever idea. But I don't. Again, you get wrapped up in that chat room and it takes you
yes,
away,
yes.
right? All right. So you did that last weekend. You did that with the girls.
Saturday,
Saturday,
Saturday.
this
Yeah,
past weekend. Okay,
yeah.
complete. All right. Now, do they enjoy that? Do the
Oh,
girls enjoy that?
absolutely,
They
absolutely. They
do.
can't wait to grandma gets down there to paint. But most of the time we do it here. But I also got some wind chimes that we're going to paint next. So
Oh wow.
we'll give you one. You can put it outside.
Wait, wood chimes
Yeah,
or metal?
they're metal, but the top part is wooden with a different thing on each one.
Oh, and then you can color those.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. What kind of paint do you use for that?
Oh, I just buy that stuff in the dollar store. Some of it goes on better than others. I mean, for $1.25, you get let me get over here, a bottle, but yeah, about so big, probably a little bigger than my glass, and but as far as height, but it's probably about half the size.
What do you got in there? Tea? What do you got? Some unbrewed tea?
I've got some Mexican mudslide, and I've
Mexican
almost
mustard.
got it gone. I should have made two.
Cindy, we need to wait for that. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, my idea was just to get out and about. Like I said, we have two of them, two places right now that want us to come and do our podcast from there. They're very interested in what we have, and all of them, every single one of them, except for one, like I said, all
Yeah.
of them, everyone that I spoke to today, and I spoke to several places today. Everyone said, "Yeah, Goose, that's a really good idea, and we want to get something done here." But and two places have booked us, so we're booked as
Well,
far as we know uh, for the 15th for sure, right?
yes.
And then I got to contact this guy, right? I contact him and I'll get a hold of him through Facebook tomorrow.
Hmm.
And if not, I'll call that establishment. I'll get a hold of him and then we'll book a date for him. Probably maybe the following Monday, I'm thinking. Is that
Sure.
doable? Okay. And then,
I can't do the 20. Well, depends on what time on the 22nd, because we're going to Obed and Isaac's that night for Bunko.
oh, okay. Well, I can schedule it for
Unless
two.
you want to come and do our Bunko show.
We do a
meet
podcast at the Bunko Show?
the Bunko. Meet my relatives.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Are you kidding me? That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Are you kidding? That'd be awesome. All right, so yeah, we're gonna start doing that. We're gonna do a series of that of promoting local businesses, local establishments. I want to talk about again with the managers. I want to talk with them and maybe get some good experiences they had. I don't like I told them. I said I don't want any
No
names. Don't give me any
no
names.
bad ones.
And then give me a story of a bad one. Because
Ask who the most famous person that ever came in their place. Maybe they got something.
oh, maybe a story
Yeah.
like that they could tell.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, that'd be interesting too. Like who came in here that surprised you maybe
Yeah.
to your establishment. But yeah, I thought that'd be a good way too. But we're gonna go to local establishments, uh, especially for the summer months, right?
Hmm.
When football hits, it might be goodbye to that idea, correct?
Yes.
It might be back to the midday shows or something when
Well,
football
they're
hits.
early enough. I'm not planning on being hungover every Monday, but
Not every Monday, just every other. Cindy, some people would take that like maybe you have a drinking issue.
no, no issue with it. I drink fine.
You're fine with your way of drinking.
That's right.
You're
That's right.
fine with it, okay?
That's right.
I
That's right.
mean, it's only a problem if it's a big problem with you, right?
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
most alcoholics, not that you're an alcoholic,
No,
but most alcoholics don't see that they have a problem, correct?
no,
They don't know
because
they have a
they're laying
problem.
down.
They're laying down. They don't know they have a problem. What's the problem? Um,
No, my cousin Donnie's on him. She likes her shots. She says, "Hi,
right,
Donnie."
so shots. What shots? What's the other one?
Oh,
Oh, the
he's one of the Steelers fans.
another Steelers fan.
Yeah, yeah, he's a Steeler fan because of me. I was the original Steeler fan.
What was he before? Was he a fan of something else before? Then you turned him to
No,
the dark
no,
side. I
no,
mean,
no,
how'd that
no,
work?
no, no, no. No.
No.
They were looking for a team, and they said, "Well, Cindy likes the Steelers," and then he went with the Steelers, but his twin brother Danny, he went for the Cowboys. You can't get them all right, So,
Yeah, you're right.
but his older brother John's a Steeler fan. My cousin Sean is. My cousin Alex is. Charlie and his family. Bunch of us, we get down there and watch the games. And then some of Charlie's relatives, they're Steelers fans too. Yeah.
Hmm. I feel sorry for you almost.
No, no. I would feel sorry the fact that I'm a Pirates fan, but actually the Pirates are winning right now.
Oh my God, they're in first place,
First
right?
place.
They're in first
They won
place.
7 in a row. It probably took a whole month, or it probably took 3 or 4 months to get seven last year because they ended up under. They lost over 100 games.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's bad.
That's bad. I'll tell you, although the last few years, I would say Milwaukee does really well, right? Pittsburgh does really well. St. Louis, of course, they do really well, right? In the beginning of the year, and
Oh,
then everyone in that division starts falling off,
yeah.
and it's pretty much the Cardinals, right? Which
Cardinals.
ends up really
Or
happening.
Milwaukee.
Well,
Milwaukee's up there.
Milwaukee, but
Yeah.
everyone else starts falling off.
There was a whole year that the Pirates couldn't even beat Milwaukee. They didn't beat them one game. It was probably, and then over to the next season.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got their number.
All right, well, here on Sports Talk with Cindy, the Pittsburgh Sports Talk with Cindy,
Yeah, my Steelers and my Pirates.
you do realize you live in Illinois
Yes, yes,
and you root for Pittsburgh.
yes.
Did you ever think of moving to Pittsburgh?
I've been there and watched. I've been there to watch Pirate games and Steeler games. Yeah.
Have you ever thought of moving there?
No,
No.
no, I would get season tickets so if I ever got a ton of money, I'd fly in and whatever the hell else. Yeah.
Have a little stay out there, would you?
Dodgers are playing. He likes the Dodgers.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a Dodger baseball fan. Yeah, yeah.
didn't they have a rough go of it at first there? I thought they were struggling a little bit, no? Oh, oh no, wait,
Oh,
they just beat the Cubs 2 out of 3. Was it the mailman?
yeah.
The mailman just kicked.
Well, the Cubs almost no hit him. Remember the other day it was 13
Oh
to nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My nephew Ryan was at that game. Listen to this. They're at the game. Okay, they're on the rooftops on the other side. All right, getting free drinks and free food because he works. He does accounting and the place he works for paid for everything.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, and then almost see a no hit. Oh, how excellent! He's a Cardinal fan, but he was rooting for the Cubs that day. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Cardinal fan rooting for the Cubs.
yeah.
Can it be any better?
Doesn't happen very often. We got lots of We got lots of Cardinal Cub fans. Yeah, Donnie's on by himself being the Dodgers. His brother wasn't. His brother's passed. It's unfortunate, but they were both for the Dodgers.
My brother also works for a company, right? He works for this company that they buy like I don't know if they buy season tickets or what, but they buy and they give their employees tickets to these games, and then you could bring your families, like two members of your
Oh yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yeah, and they send them out. They take them to baseball games, and they
we,
buy them everything, man. Like what do you call those luxury box seats or whatever,
yeah,
where
yeah.
food's like brought into you, whatever.
Oh yeah,
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 this company buys those, or they buy tickets, and you bring
yeah.
two members of your family. You're allowed
We
to bring two members.
we would go down there. Of course, the Steelers weren't doing very well, so their tickets, every day's a different price on the Cardinal tickets. It's just like gas, who's ever playing good, then you're going to jack the price. Well, when they be playing the Pirates, we could get the tickets almost half price, so we'd go up there and eat the good food and drink all the alcohol. It's a good deal. Oh yeah,
So you're saying you eat the good food and drink all the alcohol, and that's a
beer or
good
whatever.
deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
So anytime there's alcohol, it's a good deal for you.
Donnie says he wants to come on our show.
You're welcome to, sir. You're welcome to.
Well, maybe we'll. Yeah, yeah. You get off work about the right time. If we're out somewhere, you can pop in with us.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Would you?
No,
I
no, I
wouldn't mind
wouldn't
that at
mind.
all. Well, we'll ask
Yeah,
you some questions, sir. We'll
yeah.
have you come on and talk some nonsense with us as
We
we
can
do
talk
every week.
about the Steelers for it.
Oh, I couldn't deal with that. That would be enough for me.
Donnie, just tell them what team you're for.
The Super Bowl winning team,
Yeah,
the Kansas City Chiefs. I love them. I love the Chicago Bears. I love the Chicago Cubs. I didn't say they were winning teams. I just said one of them was a Super Bowl team.
you've seen them both.
No, I love them. I absolutely love
Oh,
them.
well, all right, Brent. Where will we go? Let's go see them.
Well, see what's going
I'd
on?
like to attend a baseball game with Cindy. He probably wants to go to the Chiefs.
The first year, the hot dog.
Yeah, yes. Yes, yeah, that's a good time. Yeah, it's a good time. I've done that about 3 or 4 times down there in St. Louis.
Yeah, the point of my story was like my brother gets these tickets, right?
Yeah,
And then but he knows that Ray and I, his brothers are big Chicago Cubs fans. Because I kind of think you're like born into it almost. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes.
Because our grandparents were look,
Everybody else in my family is a
yeah.
Cub fan.
I mean, if I had my choice, I'd probably pick a winner. I mean, I'd be a Yankees fan, or one of the teams that win every freaking year. I'd be a New England Patriots fan. You know what I mean? I mean, if you had your choice of winning teams, but it is what it is. You're a Cubs fan. You're a Cubs fan. You're a Bears fan. So you're kind of born into it. But in my in my family, I was kind of just born into it.
Well, when we came, you came home from school in the afternoon. WGN, the Cubs are on.
Yeah.
So mom and dad just, they all got on board. Oh, hi, Millie. Your mom.
My mom was on. My mom was on.
We're going to do the show from your house sometime, Millie, and get you on with us. So the reason why I got to be, I believe I was a Pirates fan first. ESPN came on, and the
Mhm.
Pirates had the perfect start time, so they were on there a lot. And so I thought, I started watching, and I thought, hey, these guys are pretty good. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when they started winning those back in the '70s. Yeah, and then with becoming a Steeler fan, I went to Sacred Heart, and one of the girls that sat at my lunch table was a big Vikings fan, and every Monday she'd talk about the game. And I never had anything to talk about, so I thought I got to find a team. So I started watching, and the first year I watched it, that was the first year the Steelers went to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
And I said, these guys are pretty good. So I had a lot to talk about. I come back to school on Monday, say, hey, dude, I could take that, and pissed her off because one of the first, the Steelers beat the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yes, they won the Super Bowls. So that wasn't
I remember the matchups between Dallas and Pittsburgh were really great back in the day.
yes, yes,
Those are great matchups they had, man. They
yeah.
went at it.
That one time, Donnie, help me out here. Who was the quarterback that threw the 2 interceptions to the Cowboys?
Oh,
Uh,
I forget the guy's name. Was
what's
it
his
O'Donnell? Neil O'Donnell?
name? Oh, might have been.
I thought it was Neil O'Donnell.
Maybe.
Maybe I thought it was him. Maybe.
Anyway, cost. I actually won $800 on that Super Bowl.
No kidding.
and they lost.
Oh my gosh.
It was I won $100 on one of the regular pools, 0 through 10, one team and one team. Well, I picked seven things right on a parlay.
Oh
Put
wow.
$10 down and won $700. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, getting back to what I was saying, like you started becoming a fan because it was on TV and it was like what you were watching, right, at the time. Oh no.
Your mom said Scale Sears was the quarterback.
No, ma. He was a running
Yeah.
back for the Chicago Bears, ma. He
Right,
was a
right.
really great running back.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, my mom's my mom grew up being a Chicago Cubs fan because I think her mother, my
Yeah.
grandmother, loved the Chicago Cubs. And my on my dad's side, my grandfather on my dad's side, he loved the Chicago Cubs. So it was really kind of just like, like if they had loved the Chicago White Sox, we'd all be Chicago White Sox fans. It's just what we grew up on, Ray and I grew up on. So we were kind of just born into being a Chicago Cubs fan,
Yeah.
you know?
We were Bean Joe Green was the best ever. You're right there, but he was. Uh
Yeah.
we went up there and we would go every year to Chicago also because and Donnie's mom, my Aunt Betty, she went, but she was a Cardinal fan. I don't know if they were playing the Cubs and Cardinals that day or not. We're all out there in the bleachers,
Yeah.
hotter than hell. By the seventh inning, we're all across the street. I want to say it was the Cubby Bear. First, Mama
Yeah.
Aunt Betty went.
Yeah.
We come walking in there. They're sitting at the bar getting free drinks from the bartender. See, it's inherited. What can I say?
Free drinks is inherited,
Yeah,
or just drinking in general?
drinking in general. Yeah,
No, it's a fun time. It's expensive though. My buddies at work want to like one of my buddies at work, right? He comes to me and he comes to Bruce, right? This crazy guy Bruce that we work with that I
yeah,
mentioned to you
yeah.
a few times, right? He comes to me and he goes, what would you think of you, me, and the goofball? He calls him the goofball, and he goes, what do you think of you, me, and the goofball going to St. Louis and watching a Cubs Cardinals game? I
Oh,
go, I'm not gonna go to St. Louis wearing my Chicago Cubs gear on my hat and my sweater or whatever. I go, I'm not gonna do that. And I go in fear of some crazy lunatic Cardinals fan, pushing me down the stairs or
yeah.
something. Because if the Cubs happen to win or if they hit a home run or
Oh,
something,
yeah, yeah.
I go, I'm not gonna do that,
Well,
man.
I know people that have talked about being in the bathroom in St. Louis and Cardinals, wearing Cub gear or another team, and coming up and saying stuff to them. I mean, really, we're having a game, we're having fun.
What a game! We're having fun. Look, you root for your team, I root for mine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
does it really matter if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or if I'm a Kansas City
right,
Chiefs fan?
right.
Yeah, they play each other, but it doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's how I became. Like you said, that's how you became a Steelers fan or a Pittsburgh fan because they were on TV, so they were
yeah.
readily accessible to you.
They want you and Millie to do a show cooking.
Well, see, I would like that, but my mom tends to get a little frustrated with me because I don't really know. Like, my mom's like, "Well, you don't want to add butter right now." I'm like, "Well, I know that you can't add butter right now. You got to tell me that I can't add butter right now, or don't add the liquid." I go, "How would I know that if you don't explain it to me, or if you
Yeah,
don't tell me not to do it?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Because those are tricks of the trade that my mom has learned, right? And look, let's face it, that is an art form. Cooking is an art form. And I find it to be difficult, to like
yes,
pick
it
up
is.
and learn
It
it.
is. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
but to my mom, it's just like, okay, well, I don't need to add anything. I just add this and do this and a pinch of this. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know when to add it or how much you're adding. So I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get.
But
You're like 10 steps ahead of me, mom. You're
right,
10 steps ahead of me.
right, right.
I go, you got to slow down and bring it back this way. So I understand why you're doing what you're doing and when you're doing it. But I enjoy it. My mom seems to be enjoying teaching me. She's always explaining to me, like, she's always asking me, "Hey, do you want to learn how to do this, or do you want to learn how to do this?"
Jerry, keep up with the ideas. Yeah, he says, I could be making while you guys are cooking, I could be making new drinks. Why not? Why not?
No, no, there's a reason why not. There's a reason why not. What are you talking about? Don't encourage that.
Oh my God.
No,
Uh,
please don't encourage that.
that would be something.
Oh, it would be something. All right.
You'd be getting hammered and your mom would be like, oh my, that's your mom trick?
No,
Oh, your mom,
no,
not
no,
any at all?
no,
Not even a little bit.
no,
No,
no. Not that I. No,
no.
my mom
Ray
doesn't.
doesn't either, right? You don't drink.
No, I don't think Ray does either. And no, I don't think Rick does.
Your mom's like, what? Billy, do you drink?
No, my mom does not drink. No, I drink enough for both my
Uh,
mother and I. I do enough. And then sometimes, like, I'll go out to a place, and I'll have, like I said, my few little cocktails, my few little margaritas, whatever. My mom's like, I can tell you've been drinking, bud. And I'm like, well, I've had a few. And then I came home, because I knew I was
right,
kind of
right,
getting tipsy. So I didn't want to stay and have any more.
right.
Well, no, I know my limits. Like, one margarita in, I'm good. After two margaritas, it's time for me to go home. I
Mhm.
gotta go home. It's time.
I know I've seen you drink too. Oh,
No, after two, I'm done. I'm kind of done. I'm done. I
mhm,
won't ever drink more than that.
mm.
I'm done. If they're margaritas, you know what I mean?
When they had Chi-Chi's down the street here, we used to get the pictures. And
Oh
pictures of
yeah,
kids. That was
the
nice.
like yeah, yeah.
That was nice.
No, those were nice, but it seemed like they put a lot of ice in that thing to me. It's like they loaded it with a lot of ice and like it maybe like two cups full of margaritas what you got out of it. You know what I mean? Of that pitcher by the
Yeah,
time you got
yeah.
to the
You said
bottom,
you
it
had
was
to
like
order a second one.
a second pitcher of margarita. Like why wouldn't you just order the glasses of because they have pretty big glasses nowadays.
Yeah.
Serving glasses, but you
I'm just talking about Chi-Chi's. You're right. They have glasses that are big as pictures.
oh my god, those things are
Yeah.
huge. Some of them are so tall and so big. I was
Probably
like,
your mom's just pina colada. I got a little mini one in the fridge, Millie. Bring it over when you were cooking.
watch my mom. No, she'll add it to the recipe.
Yeah.
She'll add it to the recipe somehow. Yeah,
Why
that'd be
not?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll talk about like getting together with all these various places, right? Getting together with all these various places, and starting a series, right?
Yeah.
A summertime series.
Your mom
Oh,
says, all right. She's fine with that.
she's gonna do right. Oh, cooking and
Yeah. I
pina
like that
coladas.
song, Getting Caught in the Rain with the Pina Coladas. One of my favorites.
Yeah, but it's about cheating. And when he finds out, right, it's about cheating. The guy went out and tried to hook up with another person, right?
Yeah.
But what he found out is who he was hooking up with or trying to get together with was his wife,
Yeah.
right? That's who it ended up being. So, and then she did the same things, right? Because you found out as she was there,
Yeah.
she was trying to do the same thing because they weren't happy in their marriage.
Yeah.
So they were both
But even though they were searching, they still found each other.
by trying to cheat on one another. I don't know what kind of message that sends. I-
Yeah. They couldn't find anybody but each other.
That's how you look at it.
Hmm.
I don't view it that way. I view it like she was trying to get out of the marriage. He was trying to get out of the marriage.
You guys are talking about Bloody Marys. The bar that we go to on Sundays and watch the Steelers, they have a Bloody Mary bar there. Brewskis on Jefferson. Yeah, and if you spend $10 on and get you the Bloody Mary, you can eat the rest of the day, whatever they got on the bar on the back there in the back room. It's not a bad deal.
They usually have like a buffet back there, some type
Yeah,
of little.
yeah,
Yeah, no, some places do that. They put out free like my
yeah.
little meatballs or weenies or something. They put out little stuff like that. Yeah.
5 million. It's different every week. One of the guys sometimes grills out. He'll put hamburgers, hot dogs, maybe pork chops. They have pizza, and then they have biscuits and gravy from the morning, mellow cream donuts. And other things. It changes.
I used to love biscuits and gravy, man. I used to love that stuff. That stuff was
Yeah.
awesome. It's got to be made right though. It's got to be made with the gravy has to be made with the sausage gravy. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I want the white color. I don't want the
No,
nothing
no,
that's any other
mm.
color. No,
No, no,
thank
no,
you.
no, no. Thank you, no, thank you. Yeah, because some of that stuff. What are they saying? See what I mean? You're caught up in that chat room right now. You see what I mean? As soon as you start reading one,
Yeah.
you're it's like you're addicted to it.
Oh, I
It's like
see.
a book you can't put down.
Yeah.
You keep reading it.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
As you continue to read it, I'm sure.
Right. 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 Right.
All right. Well, like the topic today, another topic we're going to talk about, other than drinking,
Drinking.
what our sports teams are,
Yes.
and us getting out to local establishments and doing a series of where we actually go out to those establishments and talk with the managers, talk with the owners, and some of the employees. Um, One of the things I wanted to talk about as well, Cindy, with you was, you know what? You know why my mom had to go? You know why my mom had to go?
Mm-mm.
Terry Mason is on.
Oh. Okay.
She watches
You
that.
look
She
at that
watches.
one's slow. This one's the right time over here.
I can't see that one without my glasses. What time is that?
She's like 5 to 6. 5 to 6.
Okay, yeah, because she has her shows, right? And I was teasing her one time because she was like, she because she watches things like Perry Mason set, not the new
Mhm.
version, but the older version, set in like the 50s or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then she watches shows like that from the 50s or the 40s or whatever, or the 60s. And I was like, Mom, do you ever watch anything from this century? And she started laughing. She started laughing at me. And every now and then she kind of recalls that, me telling her that. And I was like, Mom, but you're really not watching anything from this century. I go, you're watching stuff from 1950s and 1960s.
Yeah.
I go, this is 2023.
Yeah.
I go, so you're a century away from watching that, from
We used to,
anything current.
we used to watch the Lucille Ball show all the time. That was black and white. We liked that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Lassie, Timmy and Lassie. We watched that. I don't know if it came on in the morning or after school. That was black and white.
that was just about a kid and his dog, right? That's all it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A
He
kid.
was always Timmy was always getting in trouble, and Lassie had to go save him. It was so funny. Where is it? Where are they at, Lassie? Oh, they're down by the road. They're down by the river, like the dog can talk.
Like a dog is
The
talking,
dog's like, yeah, that's it. That's it.
kind of like Wilbur, right?
Yes,
Like Wilbur.
Wilbur and Mr. Ed.
Yeah, Mr. Ed
See,
and Wilbur.
that was black and white too.
Yeah,
And the monster.
yeah, but those are the type of shows she watches. So I was like, Mom, you need to start watching shows from this century. And she does. She has her shows that she watches.
Yes.
She has her shows like that Law and Order thing. She watches some of those, or she started watching the new version of what was it, Perry Mason, that new show they just came out with a few years ago. It's a series that they did of Perry Mason.
Oh,
They
really?
redid it. Yeah, yeah.
What is that? What is that on like Hulu or something? What is
I
that?
want to say like Netflix or Hulu, something like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So she started watching that, and there are some shows that what my mom turned me on to is Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez. Again, I see you can't put the book down. You don't think that I know what you're doing, especially when I'm right in front of you. Like you don't
I
see that
can't help it. I'm used to looking at it. I'm used to being the one at home watching the side part, not being the one on the screen. See what I'm saying?
so you never really got. So you're admitting to me right now that you never really got yourself involved in our conversations. You
Sure.
were reading the chat room.
No. Well, I didn't have the chat room sometimes. Remember, it was just the three of us talking.
How often? I'm gonna ask you a series of questions now.
Okay.
How often were you reading the chat room and maybe getting lost in the conversation or the topic? How often did that happen? When Carl and I would be talking and we would
And that never.
never
If I usually got lost in the conversation, that means I was daydreaming on something else. It wasn't.
reading the chat room.
No, no. Something would pop in my mind, or you were going on one of your long
My
stories,
long stories.
thinking about something else,
You weren't even listening to the story.
and you would say, "What do you think, Sidney?" I go, "Oh, it bless you, Carl."
And you would wait for Carl to respond,
Yeah,
and then based off of his
right,
responses, how
right,
you would respond.
right. I didn't have any. I just said, "Well, I can't think of anything."
You did that a lot, mind you. You did
Well,
that a lot.
well,
Okay, now another question is, how often will you have a drink in your hand when you were on the show? How often do you have a drink beside you while doing the show?
almost all the time, but not usually alcoholic.
No?
That's only at night when we did a later show. Not well, except when we did the turkey gravy and I drank the Bud Light Lime.
You're not still upset about that, are you?
No,
You over that now?
no,
You're not over it. No, you're not over it. Yes, you are over it. I got to know.
I'm over it, but there'll be payback still.
Payback. What else do I have to do? Yeah, I mean, I came over and drank that horrible beer with you.
Yeah,
What other punishment do I need?
let's see.
You still haven't thought of that yet? I'll get back to you on that, dude.
I talked to one of the owners. Would you please bring this out to me?
Oh, he loves that stuff called dirt.
Yes,
Bring that out. He
yes.
loves it. He'll drink
You
it
have
right
the
from you.
IPAs back there. Bring them. Especially the 9.5.
Yeah, he loves that stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
No, but I do think it's a good idea, right? We both thought it was a good idea to do that.
yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
start doing that. I don't know about you, but I like doing the show later in the afternoon, maybe early evening.
Uh-huh.
You know, it seems to me we have more interaction in the chat room. We have more listeners at that time versus the midday show. And I understand that,
We miss
when
him a
Carl's
little.
on, we
Yeah.
do miss him. We do miss him a lot. But I realize with his schedule, it works best for him to do it noon, which is why we did it at noon on Mondays, because he and I share that same day off on Mondays. You're reading again. She thinks I am blind and cannot see her do the reading. You realize I'm right next to you.
Yes. Yes.
But do you care that I'm right next to you and that you get I mean, does it
It's like there's a wall, I guess.
oh no, right here
Over there.
imagine it. You are something else, young lady.
Yes. Hmm.
Would you say you're during the show that you're thinking of things that maybe are a little bit mischievous
Yes.
at times?
Sometimes, yes. Yes.
Most of the time, would you say, or is that an
Sometimes
exaggeration?
it just pops in my head. I can't help it. I'm always amazed how it just goes right along. You know what I mean? If you were to watch the show sometimes, you would swear that been rehearsed or somebody told the other one
You
something,
keep saying that to me like
but
it's been
but it never is. It just kind of flows. Yeah,
for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it's crazy, I know. But you and I have clicked from the day we met,
right,
right? From
right.
the day we met, we kind of clicked. Like,
And then we were drinking that day too.
when can I ask when we're not if we're together? When are we not drinking? Can I ask that question?
I don't think it's ever happened. I mean, I every
It's going to happen when we go to Chatham Cafe or one of the places that we're going to go to, right? They don't serve alcohol there. At some of the restaurants that we're going to visit,
yeah,
at some of the places we're going to visit,
and
right?
some of them do.
Some of them don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to start picking out places that don't,
Oh,
like the bakeries and the ice cream shops and the little
yeah.
cafes.
It won't help.
No,
No.
what are you going to hide some in your purse on the way in?
No. I still find a way to torment you. It just comes naturally.
Tormenting me comes naturally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are aware of the circle that I have. I don't know if you're aware of it or if you even care at this point.
I don't.
You don't care.
I kind of might have did for a minute, but that's going by. When we first heard about it.
Yeah,
But then,
yeah.
yeah. But after that, no, it was too hard to even try to not say something.
So rather than being in the circle,
Yeah,
you would rather make comments
yeah,
such as DA and Brett do.
yeah. Well, I do it when it's not me. I do it when I'm watching Ray's show or Steve's show or somebody else's.
Hmm.
I make comments.
It just comes natural to you to make
Yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Mm.
I worked at the post office, remember? With a
Yeah,
bunch of men. I had to survive, you had to come up with your own one-liners too.
yeah.
Yeah. You guys were
Were they
getting
hard to work with? Was it ever like?
no
Did you ever feel out of place working there at all? Like,
with the guys?
yeah, like because you were just with a bunch of guys, so it was like,
No.
would you ever feel out of place
No,
there?
not really. Not really. Some of them, I had one guy that picked on me a lot. And one day he come over and we were working together and I said, "Why do you pick on me so much?" He goes, "Because I like you." I
Yeah.
said, I said, Could you like me a little less? Yeah,
Just a little
yeah,
bit, just.
yeah. But we were great friends. His birthday was like a couple days before mine, but he was a lot older than me, And one day it was his birthday, and I was talking to his wife, and she said something you like would like think would be cool for your birthday. And I said, well, I like someone to pull outside and pull up in a limo, and we just go places, and I think that'd be a great time. But she took my idea and did that for her husband, my friend.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he says, uh, he says, Cindy, and she says, make sure you get something to eat that day because it was going to end up being a surprise party that we were all at. And and I'm not one to usually volunteer to go get lunch. And them guys would get on my ass all the time about not going. I never wanted to go, so I didn't. I think I finally went sometimes, and so I says, "Hey, Ed, you want the Chinese today?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'll go get it." So we went. Everybody paid their way.
Yeah.
And I went and got it, brought it back, and then it dawned on him later on why I had went to get it. Because to make sure he wasn't going to be drunk. He says, "Why you went?" Oh, and then I go, "Yeah, absolutely, I took care of you." So
You
yeah,
kind of did, didn't
I
you?
did, I did.
Yeah.
He still got drunk, but yeah,
Was there a day when he wasn't drunk?
no, no, we didn't go all the time. Like once in a while we go over to what was the name of the bar?
Like for your lunch hour, you would just go on your
No,
lunch
no, no. We go after work.
hour
After work,
after
not
work.
during work. Not
I thought you
during
were
work.
saying like on his lunch hour, the guy
No,
would.
no, 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 no. Because we got off at like we started at 6 to 2:30, so we were off at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
guys started so early.
yeah.
Yeah.
In that bar, I think it was like at Fourth and Carpenter.
Was there a night crew that worked? Because
Oh, all the way 24 hours a day, post office.
at that location.
Yeah, yes,
Mm.
and different hours for different shifts. They had three shifts, but they all didn't. Yeah, they didn't say like one was 8 to 4:30, and then the next group come in. Sometimes they overlapped, and you know, and that was their biggest plan. They were going to change the hours, like that would make a big difference.
Mm.
If you can't figure it out at what time, what's another hour going to do?
Yeah.
You're still stupid. You just can't.
Did you have your preference of hours that you worked? Like when I got this job here, I was told what my schedule was going to be. So I did. It's not like they said, "Hey, would you rather work this schedule or this schedule?" It was just like,
we had
"Hey, this is the schedule we have available, so this is the schedule we'd like you to work."
we had
So it really wasn't an
yeah
option for me.
we had to bid jobs with the hours, and that's how you got it. And sometimes some people would go in there and get their hours changed. You could move them an hour one way or another without reposting the job. So if you was the boss's buddy, sometimes you could get it done. Everybody be pissed. Well, I'd admit it if we put it up that way. What can you do? Nothing you can do.
Did you like starting earlier versus later? Because
Early.
I tell you what, I miss starting at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, I like
or
6 to 2:30,
I really liked
5 to 1:30. I like either one of those. Got
it.
home, take a nap, and then do some stuff. But when we first started, I started at what did we work at? We going at 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11 to 7. No, no, no. We went at 1 a.m. All right, and then we would. We had this one boss, the same one with the guy in the box.
Oh, the guy at the boxes. The guy at the boxes.
But the one the boss he was talking to, he goes, he would wait till it would be what would it be? We've been there 8 hours, okay,
8 hours.
and we're heading towards to punch out. He goes, and we were flexes. We were the new ones, so we always got
Flexes?
that's what they called us, part-time flexes. And he would say, "We need you guys all to stay 4 more hours." They would give us no time for us to call home and tell people, watch my kid or do this. I just expected it every day,
Oh, wow.
every
So
day,
that's how they treated the flexes. Because you were kind of new. You were kind of.
like that.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wasn't going to say that,
Oh,
Sydney.
it was. You didn't have any. Everybody went through it, until you weren't on probation, and then most people, a lot of flexes, they didn't get on the overtime list, but some people did. I didn't get on it for several years because I needed to get home to my daughter.
Yeah.
So she stayed with my folks while I worked, but yeah, yeah, it was.
Oh, I see. So you.
But then when we got so that I was on the day shift. I said, well, I asked mom and dad because they would take her to school because I had to be there before school, and so I would work overtime. And and we were living with my folks at the time. And one of the bosses called. And he says, "I need this is like at midnight, and I always had to be normally there at 5." He says, "I need." Mom answers the phone, and he says, "I need Cindy to come in 4 hours early."
Oh my God.
And my mom goes, "She's not here, and I don't know where she's." She didn't want me to go in.
No.
So I had to call my boss back, and I said, "Sorry about that. I'll be in." Yeah.
Cindy's not here. Well, we're not taking message. So I ask what you're doing right now.
Well, she's taking a quick look.
A quick look at what? The settings or the chat room? Are you looking at the settings? What are they saying?
The settings.
I hate to break it to you, he says. He hates to break it to me. He hates it.
Oh, everyone wants to hang out with Brent. Brent and I are going to the baseball game and the football game. It sounds like I was reading earlier.
He wants the free beer and the free food and the party time with Cindy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you saying what am I supposed to read now? I'm trying to avoid it. All right, Derek is saying I don't blame Cindy for reading the chat room. It was probably better listening to this.
He comes up with that stuff so quick.
Like, you know what? That's just mean, right? That's mean spirited.
Well, yes,
Is it mean spirited or is it trying to be funny?
he's lighthearted.
Is it lighthearted?
I don't think he means to offend.
No, I think he does. I think he does mean to. With a saying like that, you kind of mean to. Your intentions is pretty obvious, right?
Well, only if he means it. I don't think he means it.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know that I've ever met DA, and if I have, it's been years and years and years
I was
ago.
trying to figure out if he was the guy that I met over at that when we did it live from Ray's house, the Royal Rumble, but it was DC.
No, that was DC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Because I couldn't,
yeah.
I knew it was initials, but I couldn't remember if it was DC or
I used to
VA.
work with him
Yeah.
years ago at a place. Yeah, I used to work together with him.
Hmm.
It was pretty cool. Like in a different
He seems
division,
very
but
nice, you know.
yeah, he's a really cool guy. Pretty talented
And
guy.
he lost his job, so he might be coming on the show and hanging out.
Oh, cool. I like DC a lot.
Yeah,
You know, that guy is so him and Jason together, I think, would be perfect to do the remember the comic book show or
yeah,
the superhero movies. Like them together, there's so much knowledge and so versed in that atmosphere or in that topic. I think the two of them together would be great to do a show like that.
yeah.
A comic book or a superhero movie type of show.
And maybe they could put the MLB in there right with it.
MLB
I
the
wouldn't have
show.
to watch.
No, well, Jason plays it every now and then, but DC does not play MLB the show.
Well, not yet. Once you get to hear all the great stories, he might be jumping in too. Does he got a
Has
PlayStation?
it ever enticed you enough
No.
to buy the game? No.
Actually, this is what I was going to do the other day. I went and I was going to look it up just to see what I was missing,
Yes.
but then I got distracted. So I didn't get
You
on.
get distracted?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait a minute. What was?
I was going to watch it on YouTube to see, watch other people playing
Yeah,
and that to see if it was something I wanted to do.
it's really just so addicting. Not that I want to talk about MLB the show, but I find myself playing it like as I get home from work, and I do I
Yeah,
throw out the garbage or whatever I have to do for the day, obviously, or pay a bill or whatever. But I tend to do that stuff,
you got that on one on there, and then you got.
and then I just do the MLB the show. I play like one or two games,
Hmm.
and then like I said, my buddy at work, and I get off. I get off of there and I sit down with my buddy at work. He always wants to play this game at like 10:30.
MLB or something else.
MLB the show. And
Oh, okay.
I'm like, dude, we gotta work in the morning. I can't be playing these series with you till like 1 in the morning. I go, we have to work, dude. And I don't even know how he does it. I mean, he's half my age, he's a
Yeah.
young kid, but
You have a cubicle, right? That you work in?
yeah, well, I'm not just at a cubicle though. So I have to go into the scanning room and I have to scan the stuff, and then
Are
you
you
know
there
what I
by
mean. So
yourself in your cubicle? Or there's another person working there with you?
no, 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 no. I mean, everyone has their individual cubicles, but I'm not always at my desk, is what you're saying. Like I'm not always there. Sometimes I have to go to different,
So you could take a
areas.
nap.
No, I cannot. No.
You have a quota, right?
Yeah, I gotta meet because you gotta do prepping for so many prepping per day. You have to scan so many day. You have to when you're importing doing the electronic stuff, you have to do that so many per day, and you can't leave stuff behind for other people.
You got to
You know
watch
what I mean?
Bruce dance.
And then I gotta do watch Bruce and babysit that kid. There's another one. Oh my god, I live with a bunch of people who are like in their mid to late 20s,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like I'm the oldest one of my team. And there are times, reason why I asked you is because there are times where I feel out of place. You know, they're like, to me, they're young kids, like 25, 26, 24 years old, right?
oh, when I was
And
working with the guys,
yeah,
yeah,
like, so for me, I'm
yeah,
like,
I paid
I feel
attention.
out of place. I'm like, twice your age. You know what I mean? So it's like
Hmm.
the stuff you talk about and some of them, the way they talk, I'm
Yeah,
like, you have to slow down and bring that back 'cause I don't really
yeah.
understand what you're saying.
Most of the guys I worked with, 10 years older than me, and we
So
were,
you worked with older people. So you were the young one,
yeah,
not only the female, but you were the younger one in the group.
yes. Until later on, and there's some younger guys that were my age came on board. My brother-in-law, he actually worked. We worked together, and then another guy that was just a little bit older than me, a couple months.
Mm.
Yeah, and then finally we had a few other women came on board. So and they were younger than me. I think they both were younger than me, but not by much.
Yeah.
And there for a long time, it was mostly all men at the post
Oh,
office, and then some women started working.
what made you decide to go to the post office though? What made you?
My mom went and got the test and brought it all home for us, and we filled out the application. We all took the test, and I did well on it. And
And you said,
yeah, that's why I was there. This one old man, he used to say, and they used to love to say it all the time. So finally, I got them to shut up. They go, "It was a better place before all you women got in here." And
oh,
screwing everything up. And I said, oh, answer me this. I said, who was you hitting on when we weren't here? That was the end of that.
well, you know what Christina's answer to that was, oh no. Should I read that or should I just skip that? Is
No,
this?
this was about me.
Oh, okay.
You can read it.
All right. DA is saying in the chat room, after every show, I wish I could be like Cindy. Never remember since she is blackout drunk. It's a shame he doesn't drink, he
Yeah.
says. That's a shame, sir.
No, try drugs. Irene says to him, try drugs.
My drugs. Does anyone in this chat room give please, I really don't
And you're talking about getting off with your friend. You're
uh
talking about the sports game.
they
Okay.
don't miss a word, do they?
No, no,
They
no,
do
no.
not miss
Oh
a
no, they
word
don't. They
of
don't.
what you say to use against me.
And it doesn't matter if it was today. Could have been,
No, it could have been last week or two
yeah,
weeks ago. It
yeah,
doesn't matter.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
All right, my dear. We said we were going to do an hour. My mom's got something in the crock pot. I don't know exactly what it is, but
Okay.
she had cabbage. Could that have been like corned beef that she was cooking? 'Cause it looked like a roast, some type of beef roast she was cooking.
Oh,
But I don't know. It smelled good when I left, but I don't know. We'll see how it tastes if she's not tuned into her Perry Mason.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I go, Mommy, you need to start watching things in this century. Maybe, maybe move it up another 50,
Maybe
60
she finds
years.
him attractive. Who knows?
But wasn't he was a gay man, right? I mean, he came out as a gay man.
Oh, he did. I didn't know. Oh, did you
Yeah,
know that?
yeah,
Hmm.
he was gay.
How old was he when he finally came? Well, blind guys
Well,
didn't
I
come
don't
out
know.
until they were older, but
Older, yeah, because it wasn't acceptable, right,
like Rock
back then.
Hudson. Rock
Yeah.
Hudson.
Well, yeah, it wasn't acceptable back then. He couldn't have come out and still had a career back then.
Right.
Even
Right.
now, like coming out now is so. And no, 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 no. Please stop with what they're going to say. I know exactly what they're going to say.
Well, you're older.
No,
You're older now.
no. I know exactly what those wise asses are going to say. And you know exactly what they're going to say.
Good thing. Where's Christina? She already was talking about it.
No, I don't need any help.
They like you.
Oh, I bet they do. Yeah, I bet they do.
You've been hit on before.
Yeah, but why we got to bring that up? Why we got to bring
Trying
that
to
up?
make a point. We were talking about the men.
What point are you making? Other than feeding their ammunition, giving them ammunition.
Well, you were saying that they were older and they couldn't do it when they were younger. Now you're older and they're hitting on you. So I'm just saying you're older.
That makes a difference, whether you're older or younger. I don't get what you're saying.
You couldn't talk about it back then. Now you could.
There is nothing I'm going to discuss with that matter. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. I'm not ever going to come out. There was never a fear of that.
Okay.
I can't believe that this is I'm having to have a discussion like this. This is ridiculous. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I guess I'm going to say thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, I bet you did. I think you enjoyed it more than I did. Is
Oh,
that fair to say?
no, I don't think so.
No, you don't think that's
You
fair
were
to
very
say.
excited about the new shows that we were doing. So yeah, I think you enjoyed telling people.
I did. Don't you agree that it's a pretty good fun idea that we got,
Yes,
that we came up
yes,
with, and
yes,
that we're going to do? It's a good way to get our name out there, that's for sure. To
yeah,
get the network out there, it's a good way to get it out there.
yeah.
It's a good way to, keep interacting with various businesses.
Well, that's where we'll end up. As long as it's not jail, we'll be okay.
I'm guessing holding signs on a street corner, begging for beer and margaritas.
Hmm.
You know what? Here's the funny story: is I put up a sign, right, as a joke, obviously. I
Okay.
put up a sign at work that said, "We'll work," because we were talking about all the people that you see on the corners begging for,
Oh yeah.
all the panhandlers. I go, "There's more and more of them." We were having a discussion, right,
Hmm.
with me and my colleagues, and so I put up a sign at my little cubicle on the outside, so people as they walk by they can see it. And I put up, it said, "We'll work for margaritas and chicken wings, hot wings,"
Oh
is what I put. And then my boss comes by and she's like, "Well, Roland, how about we pay you and then you can buy your wings or whatever." But then another manager came by and goes, "Goose, where's that sign at, man?" He goes, "I wanted to see it." I go, "I took it down after my supervisor came by because I thought
yeah.
maybe
Right.
she was
Right.
offended by it or something." But I was like, "So I took it down." He goes, "No, where's that sign, man?" Hang that. Another manager had told me that. He goes, "Where's that sign at?"
Yeah, but which one would get you in more trouble?
Oh, the guy that was on my side always gets me in trouble. He leads me down an alley. He doesn't
Oh
even take me down the door. He leads me down an alley. What's gonna, what's behind door number three?
yes, yes.
All right, guys, is someone you know or no?
It's the neighbor's.
Uh,
That's her mother, and that's the dog. Her
oh,
dog. That's
okay.
her dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the kids that lives next door.
All right. Well, Cindy, my dear, I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Yeah, I feel a little buzz from my mudslide.
Really? Is it
Yeah,
strong? So what was in there?
I don't know.
What ended up being in there?
I didn't read it.
No?
No, I think it's rum though, but I'm not sure.
All right. Well, until next week. And then we'll have some more updates, I guess. We're gonna get together sometime this week and go running around and
Yeah,
searching for more places that we can go so we can continue this our little adventure, would you say? Or more like experiment? Or is this going to be something that we can do, you know?
experiment, huh?
I wouldn't say it's an experiment. I would say I think we're onto something, you and I.
Adventure.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is it really? Or is it something that you and I can build upon going forward with each and every local business that we visit? I think it's something we can build upon. I really do because all the responses I've got, Cindy, was so positive. They were like, "Dude, you're onto something here. You have a really good idea, and
Yeah.
I don't see why I wouldn't want to bring you in here."
Oh,
And so they loved it. Everyone seemed to love it. Now I didn't just speak to all the managers. Some of them were gone today, but everyone I spoke to had said, "Hey, you got a good idea, Goose. We
yeah.
like your idea." So yeah, why don't we bring you in here?
You didn't wear your Cub stuff.
I was fearful in case someone might be like a Cardinals fan, or I didn't want that to end badly. Well, I can't bring no Cubs fan in here.
Right. I understand.
You know what I mean? So, all right, I will say goodbye and thank you for joining us. I will not thank Brent or DA, right? I would really want to
Oh,
thank them.
I appreciate the guys.
You do?
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
their
I don't
humor?
mind if they poke a little fun at me. Doesn't bother me.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah.
But isn't it more geared towards me?
Yes.
So you don't mind when they make jokes about me, is what
No.
you're
No.
saying?
No. No. I.
No, you don't mind at
I
all?
don't. Doesn't bother me.
No, that doesn't bother you at all.
It doesn't bother me. No.
Not one bit doesn't bother
No.
you. No,
No.
okay.
No.
All right, well, until next week, guys, I thank you, and then we'll stay tuned for us. I guess we will be on next week with more information, and possibly, we'll be at our first location, right?
Yeah.
Next week, we could be at our first location. All right, so thank you for joining us, guys. If
Bye,
you'll,
everyone.
if you'll
Bye, everyone.
sign us off there, dear. Oh, let me get it. Let me get it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sign up today. Oh, Ray's got to sign us out, though, right?
It leaves. Can you hit that?